In this video I'm going to talk about what major buffs were made to the Chaos Lich archetype that were not documented in the patch notes. And I'm also going to talk about how to build an endgame version of this build. In 0.3 they added the abyssal modifiers, and one of these abyssal modifiers gives us spell skills have +1 to maximum number of summon totems. In 0.2 we only had 2 totems, and now we have 3, giving us effectively 50% more dark effigy DPS. In addition to that, they also buffed Execute for low life builds. Now Execute gives us 30% more damage while we are on low life, and 30% more damage against enemies that are on low life. Also, they added an essence that gives us +3 to spell skills on our focus. Now normally in a focus can only roll +2 to spell skills. For some reason we now have +3 with essences, giving us roughly 15% more damage. For the gems, the first gem that I would use a perfect jewelers on would be Dark Effigies. And you get Overabundance, so these are listed in order of importance. You get Overabundance to raise the totem limit, Poison to add another kills damage over time debuff for your Dark Effigies so that they shoot out more projectiles. And then you get Execute 3 for the 30% more damage while you're on low life. And to manipulate your life, you use the Visage of Ire. You get life tap on one of your skills. I use Spawn Storm. And then you also have to unspec this node. Then you can manipulate the life to be low life, so 35%, below 35%. And then you get Control Destruction. And as the last one, I have Urgent Totems, which got buffed this patch. It has, in addition to the totem placement speed, it has now 20% blast speed. And for bosses, you would get Concentrated Area, Essence Drain, Considered Casting, Chain, Swift Affliction, Chaos Mastery. For Contagion, you get Magnified Area. So you increase the spread radius of your Contagion. And Contagion, ideally, you would keep at a lower level because it won't benefit. It won't get that much base chaos damage per level. You can keep it at a low level to keep the mana cost at a very low value. And if you don't have quality on your Contagion, you get Unleash. And then you can get Chaotic Freeze. I have Rapid Casting for quality of life. And also Acrimony. Withering Presence to apply withered debuffs. And you link this with Prolonged Duration, Chaos Mastery. Then I have Despair, very important. Get Decaying Hex to apply another Chaos Damage all time debuff that lasts 8 seconds. Then you can get Heightened Curse, Efficiency, because Despair has a pretty high base mana cost. Then you get Focus Curse, because we use Whispers of Doom to apply an additional curse. And you could also get Arcane Surge. And with all the increased skill effect duration that we have, Arcane Surge lasts a pretty long time. You get increased cast speed and more mana regeneration rate. And Convalescence is the reason why I have Spirit on my gear. Because Convalescence is very important for survivability in maps. Basically, normally you have a energy shield recharge delay. I've quite a bit of investment, so it's all the way down to 2.29. Normally it's 4 seconds. But with Convalescence you can start your energy shield recharge anytime. And it won't be interrupted during the buff duration. It won't be interrupted if you take damage. You link this with cooldown recovery, Second Wind. You can use it a second time, but you have less cooldown recovery. Then I also have Mysticism, but you don't need this. I have Blasphemy, Temporal Chains, Magnified Area, Ritualistic Curse, and Low Potency. Temporal Chains, Blasphemy is really good for survivabilities. The passive tree, most nodes are pretty straightforward. You get increased maximum energy shields, get increased damage. Then you can also get these additional ailment and stun threshold nodes. I think 5 are enough. And get this node This will only benefit your Dark Effigy, but it's a lot of damage. And I also get the faster start of Energy Shield recharge, so that instead of 4 seconds, the delay is much lower. And you can also get, in addition to that, you can get Energy Shield recharge, but with Convalescence duration so long. In my case, this is 9 seconds. I don't really find it necessary to get Energy Shield recharge. But if you want more, you can also anoint Essence Infusion. It's pretty cheap. And I have these nodes. Reduce slowing potency of debuffs. And the reason for that is it's really nice for mapping. So normally, for example, Chill applies 30% less action speed on you. But with these nodes, it only applies 90%. There are a lot of sources of slowing debuffs. For example, Hinder, Maim. And having this is really nice quality of life. Of course, Whispers of Doom, so we can apply an additional curse. And you want this node. You want to have low life with this. And you don't absolutely... If your base mana cost is too high and you don't have enough mana regeneration rate, I have 35% here and then I have some here. Also have a little bit here. If you don't have enough mana regeneration rate, I would not click this. Then you can also get these nodes for Totem Life, Totem Duration. And for your Ascensi, you go take these nodes first. And then you can take this. This only applies to the Essence Drain. So it has a pretty huge downside. But it hasn't been a problem for me, so I didn't unspec it. You can unspec this node and then go for increased area effect of curses. But I think this node is fine. Right, for the gear, I'm gonna go what stats to look for on your gear. So the most important one on your wand is plus kill spell skills or plus spell skills. Plus kill spell skills can go up to 5. And each plus level to spell skill is roughly 15% more damage. So really important. You can also get a rune that gives you +2 spell skills. And then you want to get increased spell damage. Cast speed will only benefit DPS of Dark Effigy. It won't be a DPS increase for Essence Drain. But it's good quality of life for Essence Drain. And then your focus is pretty important. Because this league we have a Abyssal modifier that basically adds another totem. Raises the totem limit of Dark Effigies. And you can also get a +3 level of all spell skills instead of +2 this league. Because there is an essence that provides +3 to levels of spell skills for your focus or wand. So naturally, normally, the focus cannot roll +3. But with this essence it can. Then you can of course get spell damage, cast speed. On your amulet, very important. Also can get plus level of spell skills. Goes all the way up to 3. Or you can also get plus level of projectile skills if it's cheaper. And you can get cast speed again. I would recommend getting Spirit, the amulet. So you don't need Spirit on your chest. And if you don't have Spirit on your chest, you can get much higher, much higher increased energy shield values. Not increased energy shield, base energy shield values. Helmet, Azir's Disdain. There's no better helmet for your Lich. And on your rings, you can get your number 1 stat is going to be cast speed. You can roll really high values. You can get increased kills damage, but it's not necessary. Boots, Boots, you get increased movement speed, that energy shield, increased energy shield, and gloves 2, energy shield, resistances. The belt, you can get resistances, mana regeneration rate with an Abyssal modifier. Aton, ideally I would get a Darkness Enthroned.